Welcome to George Washington Speaks. I'm Tom Saffold. Young George, left fatherless at age 11, has to find a new path in life with limited means and very little education. George Washington, portrayed by Vern Frykholm, will share how he found ways to adapt in this difficult period.
Since I was a third son and only inherited a meager property, the Ferry Farm, my lack of status, education, and wealth would be great hindrances to my ascending the social ladder without some help in society. Lawrence and Augustine went to England to be educated at Appleby's School and to learn how to socialize with English society. They learned how to be refined and to show the proper etiquette and manners in polite society. Academic studies were important, especially if they were practical, but they were clearly of secondary importance to proper etiquette. The ability to interact socially with those of equal rank was essential, but even more importantly was the ability to interact well with those of a higher rank that were clearly superior to you. As a result of showing just the right amount of deference and respect for your betters, without groveling, of course, one might leave them with a favorable impression of you. And if by chance they remembered your name and spoke favorably of you to another person of repute, this had the potential of making a difference in your future. Their comments might be influential in your appointment to a government position or your admittance into an influential organization or an invitation to a gala event or even you being considered in a marriage arrangement. The possibilities were endless, and yet the chances for me were, well, slim, especially when so many other young men of better circumstances were on a similar hunt. After my father's death, and without my mother remarrying, the importance of close ties with both of my brothers was of utmost importance. Fortunately for me, both Lawrence and Augustine drew closer to me. Lawrence even became a father figure to me. He took a sincere and active interest in my future, and he began to connect me with what education was available in Virginia and to the world of society through his social contacts. As I reached my early teens, his wife, Anne, helped me with proper etiquette between young men and adults and between young men and young women. She introduced me to other social graces such as how to make a proper introduction or how to bow courteously, what subjects would be considered polite conversation in mixed company and which would not be, and some initial dancing steps. These lessons were doubly important to me because Lawrence had married into the powerful Fairfax family who were firmly entrenched in the upper echelon of Virginia gentry. So in a social situation, I knew I would be either a good or a bad reflection on their dignity. Through Lawrence, I was included in informal social gatherings at Colonel Fairfax's elegant plantation home, Belvoir, or referred to as Beautiful View. I was introduced to the upper class of Virginia gentry. It was a fascinating world that I could only hope to become a part of with the help of both Lawrence and the Fairfaxes. A world that without their connections, I would have no entrance into.
Fortunately, young George Washington did have some support and help from his older brothers. But the early loss of his father affected him for many years. And in the next edition, George will share more about the lifelong shortcoming he felt due to his lack of education. Did you know he had the least formal education of any president? Join us for the next edition.